Hello everyone, welcome to AfriCatalyst, your sources for business in Africa and the transformation the continent is experiencing. Please do like this video, comments, and shares. That will help us greatly in improving this channel. Now let's begin. Political instability, frequent changes in government, civil wars and conflicts can create uncertainty, discouraging both domestic and foreign investment. Countries with stable governance tend to attract more investors, while those with political turmoil often see capital flight. Infrastructure deficits, poor road networks, unreliable electricity supply, and limited internet access hinder business operations. For example, transportation costs are higher in Africa compared to other regions, affecting trade competitiveness. Improved infrastructure can facilitate trade and economic integration. The dependence on primary commodities. Many African economies are heavily reliant on a few commodities, such as oil, minerals, and agricultural products. This reliance makes them susceptible to global market fluctuations. For instance, a drop in oil prices can severely impact countries that depend on oil exports. 4. Limited access to finance. The banking sector in many African countries is underdeveloped, with limited lending to small businesses. High interest rates and collateral requirements can also restrict access to credit, making it difficult for entrepreneurs to grow their businesses. 5. Education and skills gap. While there is a young and growing population, many lack the necessary education and vocational training. This skills gap can lead to high youth unemployment and underemployment, which in turn affects economic productivity. 6. Health issues, public. Health challenges can reduce the workforce's productivity. For example, high rates of malnutrition and disease can lead to absenteeism and lower labor output. Investment in healthcare can significantly improve economic performance by enhancing worker productivity. 7. Trade barriers. While the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA.
While the CFTA is essentially an economic project, it is deeply entrenched in the aspirations found in Agenda 2063 and feeds directly into other aspirations for integration, such as the Single African Passport. Launched in 2016, the full implementation by member states of the Single African Passport would further enhance trade and movement of people across the continent. Other flagship projects, such as the Single African Air Transportation Market, also stand to benefit from the CFTA. The Single African Air Transportation Market primarily aims to increase connectivity across the continent by creating a single African sky, and thus further enhancing economic integration.
The essence of the Single African Air Transport Market is to have a single African sky, like the one we see in Europe, like the one we see in Northern America. Airlines, formidable airlines, licensed airlines, should be able to move from one point to another, whether on a direct flight or whether on transit. The air transport market liberalization will make sure that now business is open to everybody. And we think with liberalization now, the airfares will go down. These are some of the issues the Single African Air Transport Market is geared to resolving. A single African sky, where every airline will be able to go anywhere, to fly passengers and goods anywhere in Africa.
Aims to reduce trade barriers and promote intra-African trade. Many countries still face tariffs and non-tariff barriers that limit trade flows. Greater regional integration could enhance market access and economic growth. Environmental challenges. Climate change poses significant risks to agriculture, which is a major economic sector in many African countries. Droughts, floods, and changing weather patterns can disrupt food production, leading to food insecurity and economic instability. 9. Technological adoption.
For Africans who have often struggled to secure funding and access to competitive digital infrastructure, DeepSeek's innovation and technology is both a challenge and a beacon of hope. Democratizing AI development could unleash untapped potential for Africa. Historically, African startups and businesses have faced barriers such as limited access to computing power and insufficient investments in research and development.
While some African countries are experiencing a technological boom. The overall adoption of technology and innovation can be slow. Investment in technology can improve productivity, but barriers such as lack of infrastructure and digital literacy can impede progress. 10 global economic factors, global economic dynamics, including trade policies, foreign direct investment flows, and economic conditions in developed countries, can also influence Africa's economic growth. Economic downturns in key trading partners can have a ripple effect on African economies.
Africa is experiencing a technology revolution, with entrepreneurs and innovators harnessing the power of technology to drive social and economic development. From fintech and e-commerce to health tech and agri-tech, African technology is making waves globally. So let's dive in and discover the exciting world of African technology. Mobile technology has played a transformative role in Africa, where traditional banking infrastructure is
10
limited.
Global economic factors, global economic dynamics, including trade policies, foreign direct investment flows, and economic conditions in developed countries, can also influence Africa's economic growth. Economic downturns in key trading partners can have a ripple effect on African economies. Despite these challenges, there are significant opportunities for growth in sectors like renewable energy, agriculture, technology, and manufacturing. Additionally, increasing youth entrepreneurship and innovation can contribute to economic dynamism. Efforts to improve governance, infrastructure, and education can foster sustainable growth and development across the continent. Thank you for watching. Please do like, comments, and share so it can reach everyone, so it can help us improve on this channel.